So the woman you're about to meet, she's not your typical undercover reporter. She's our producer's 82-year-old grandmother, and she took a hidden camera and headed to the doctor's office. And with reports of Medicare fraud in the news, what she found might shock you. Our chief investigative correspondent, Brian Ross, joins us now. Brian?
Terry, we used hidden cameras and an 82-year-old undercover grandmother to see firsthand how all that fraud can happen. How a simple trip to the doctor's office can result in a diagnosis for illnesses that don't exist and expensive treatments and supplies that are not needed. It's called the town Medicare dollars built, McAllen, Texas. People in the medical profession are getting rich here. The doctors' parking lots are full of luxury cars. And investigators say some doctors fly in on private planes, spend a day or two a week here, and make millions of dollars a year from Medicare.
And they're getting rich off of you and me. We have 10 of the top physicians who have billed nearly $200 million in one specialty area last year alone.
To see how it works, we went undercover in McAllen with an 82-year-old grandma, Doris Ace, accompanied by her granddaughter, ABC News producer Megan Chuchmach. Like any senior citizen, our undercover grandma represents a potential windfall for home health care companies if a doctor will certify the need for home health care and if there's a Medicare number to bill.
With that number, that's the keys to the kingdom.
And they've just continued to do it with impunity.
Thus far, that's the case.
As we saw, we rented an apartment in McAllen, rigged it with hidden cameras, and moved in our grandma and her granddaughter. Other than hypertension and some arthritis, Doris Ace is a healthy woman who played some golf while in Texas and did a little line dancing at the senior center.
I'm new here in the area.
But it wasn't long before she found a number of so-called recruiters from home health care companies eager to take advantage of her Medicare number.
You need Medicare to qualify, and if the doctor approves as well.
Including one recruiter who personally took her to a doctor he chose.
Hi. How are you doing today?
Fine.
The doctor is the gatekeeper. Without her certification, Medicare won't pay for anything.
You don't have any fever, chills, chest pains?
I really enjoy good health on Can I not come over?
But the files we got later from the doctor's office would show a patient in supposedly terrible health. On the patient referral form, signed by the doctor, a certification that our undercover grandma was homebound. On the Medicare home health care forms, a description of a patient who needs assistance for all activities, unable to safely leave home unassisted. A diagnosis authorities told us that could open the door for huge fraud involving home health care.
It's worth tens of thousands of dollars a month. And
that's all justified by this
absolutely.
Diagnosis. Indeed, the very next day, a nurse from the home health care company showed up to treat our undercover grandma for a variety of ailments, including diabetes, which she does not have. And over the course of a month, the home health care company and the doctor billed Medicare almost $1,800.
Oh, and I wanted to ask you about
the doctor involved, Padmini Badriraju, declined our request for an interview and did not want to talk about the case when we caught up with her.
I don't know.
You diagnosed her with diabetes, which is not true.
I don't know anything about this.
Do you make up these diagnoses?
No, sir.
The doctor's lawyer later admitted there were errors on the health forms.
These are very serious allegations, ma'am.
It said someone other than the doctor, he did not say who, put in the bogus diagnosis. Which, of course, leads to the question, why didn't the doctor catch it if someone was falsifying her diagnosis on the documents?
Our Medicare system is an honor system. And there's not much honor left in the system when you see things like this.
The Inspector General's office told us today it has now opened its own investigation of what happened in our case as part of a broad crackdown it has started on dozens of other doctors and healthcare companies in McAllen. As for the $1,800 billed to Medicare for our undercover grandma, ABC News will reimburse the government for the full amount paid for treatment that was not needed.